Hi, friends. I am standing for a cause today because today we're going to talk about 20 ways to move more and release stress while you're at work. I have a list ready for you, so keep watching and we'll be back in just a moment. Hi, friends. Welcome back. Welcome to Stress Talk. I'm glad you're with me today, and I'm really revved up about this episode because we're talking about getting moving and not being so sedentary. And I'm going to tell you why moving throughout the day is really important. Before I do that, though, I want you to make sure that you follow me on both Instagram and Facebook at MO Bailey Consultants. I really need you to do that because that lets me know that you like the content, right? That you like what I'm putting forth. And it helps me. It also helps me to know what it is you want and helps me to know what I can do to help you most. Secondly, I want you to subscribe to the ML Bailey Consultants YouTube channel. That's where I put all of my videos for you to watch, replays. Also, I have additional there that are just kind of helpful hints. So make sure you subscribe to ML Bailey Consultants on YouTube as well. So let's get back to what we're talking about. We want to be more active. Being active is so important, and it's important for our health. One of the reasons it's important is because when we are sedentary, meaning that we sit most of the day, every day, it affects our health. Being sedentary has been linked to increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, also a higher risk of cancer. So it's so important to get up and move throughout the day. Health and fitness experts have found that it's not enough to just go to the gym after work. It's not enough to just work out 3 times a week, one time, 3 times a week. We really need to move a lot more during the day. So think about it. If you're like me, you sit at a desk for the greater part of the day. And then when you get home, you're sitting until you go to bed, right? We really need to be more active. We really need to get up and get our bodies moving because the health benefits are much, much greater. Now, I'm not saying that you should give up your workout routine. I'm saying that the health and fitness experts are saying you need to supplement your workout routine. You want to get up and do some things during the day that are going to supplement your workout in the evening. So let me tell you a story. In April, I started, let me go back. In March, I started actually using a benefit that we have through our health program. And that benefit is sharecare.com. And I don't know if you all know what that is, but through ShareCare, you can do health challenges. You can track your health and your fitness. You can participate in programs that keep you on track. And so I started doing a program that with anxiety. I would come into work in the morning and I would sit and I would do like 7 minutes of that program. Well, of course, it helped me a great deal. And it also helped me to learn things that I can share with you. The other thing I decided to do was to participate in a challenge. And so I decided in April that I was going to participate in the STEP challenge, where I had to get at least 6,000 steps every day for 21 days. It didn't have to be 21 consecutive days, but I had to get 21 days during the month of April where I walked at least 6,000 steps. Let me tell you what I learned and what I learned about myself. There were days when I would get less than 500 steps in a day. I can't even imagine that. I've never been that sedentary in my life. But what it brought to my mind is that, wow, I'm starting to count my steps. How many days did I only get less than 500 steps? How many days how many days did I spend just sitting in a chair at my computer? That was a scary thought to me. But it made me realize, that's why I've gained this weight. That's one of the reasons I'm not active. It also made me realize that I wasn't helping my fitness. So when I started counting my steps, I became committed to making sure that I got 6,000 steps a day. And it was only because of that challenge that I did that, right? But think about it. How many steps do you get during the day on a regular basis? Unless you're tracking it, you may be more sedentary than you think. So this is why I am encouraging you to look for ways to move. One, it helps our health. And number two, it helps us to release stress. And that's what we're talking about today. 20 ways to move more and release stress when you're at work. So let's get started. I have my handy list here. See, got my handy list that I put together. And if you want this list, you're going to need to read my blog post, which will post on Tuesday and on Thursday. Okay, Tuesday and on Thursday. And I will actually put where you can find that information on Tuesday on the happyhalfhour.club website. You will find the list. Let's see. There we go. And here, happyhalfhour.club. That's where you'll find the list of 20 ways to move more. It's part of the blog post for this week. So, number one, how do you move more? Drink water. Yeah, that's what I said. Drink water. I know that doesn't make sense, does it? But I'm going to tell you why. If you're drinking water on a regular basis, you're going to go to the bathroom more. There's no way you can drink water and not go to the bathroom. So, drink more water. It will make you get up and move. You'll have to get up and go to the bathroom. Now, here's the trick. Don't go to the nearest bathroom. Get some extra steps in and go to a bathroom that's a little farther away from where you sit, a little farther from your office. So one way to move more and release stress at work is to drink water. You will stay hydrated, you will stay fuller, and you won't eat as much if you're fuller. But most importantly, you'll get up and you'll have to walk to the bathroom. That's number one. Number two, pace while you're on the phone. Now, this is one of my favorite, and this is one of the ones that I just started doing. When I'm on my phone, I'll just pace, I'll just walk. Sometimes, depending on the amount of space I have, I'll just do this. I'll just kind of take 3 steps forward and 3 steps back. But you can pace while you're on the phone. You can pace while you're brainstorming an idea or while you're thinking for the right words to type or to say. Pacing is a great way to get up and to move. Number 3, walk around the block during lunch. Now, if you're in a downtown area, lots of people are out and about walking. I happen to work at a school, and so I can walk around the building inside. I can also go to the track if there aren't any students using it or there's no class using it, right? So, or I can just walk outside around the building. Get up at lunchtime, get away from your desk, and take a walk. It can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30, however long you have lunch, you can extend your walk to that degree. Even better, if you work near a park, greenery, take your lunch with you, walk to the park, have a nice leisurely lunch, and then walk back. Super duper, easy, simple, and fun. Number 4, stand up while working. Now, like I said, I'm standing for a cause today. So I'm standing. I actually, in my studio here, I have a desk that I can raise or I can lower. I love it. I don't have that at my full-time job. So I just stack books and I put my keyboard on the books. So I can just stand there and type. Or I'll stack this. The thing is, I had to be innovative because, they weren't going to buy me a desk that raises an elevated desk. The principals have that, but I don't. So, but that's cool. It's cool. It is cool because I figured out a way to do it. I can stand frequently when I'm at work. Number 5, what happens when a person comes to your office and starts talking? We usually just sit and we invite them to sit. Here's the deal. When a person comes to your office to have a conversation, stand up. You can still invite them to sit, but stand up. That allows you, again, to not sit and to raise your body. The other part of standing when somebody comes into your office is that they're not going to stay long because mentally they're going to say, oh, she has to or he has to go somewhere. Or they're going to cut it short because usually when you stand during a conversation, that's a signal that the conversation is over. So you can actually stand when someone comes into your office to have a conversation. And once again, that is a way to move and to not be seated the entire day. Number 6 is one of my favorite. Number 6 is walk and talk. Schedule a walking meeting, and that gets your blood flowing. There's no reason why you have to sit during a meeting, right? Especially if you're meeting with one person. You can actually walk and have the meeting at the same time, right? It does a couple of things. First, The meeting doesn't have to last forever and always, right? The meeting can be short and to the point because nobody's going to walk for an hour while they're meeting. There's no reason to. But it helps you stay focused on what you're talking about, and it also helps you to get to the point. So walk and talk. Schedule a walking meeting. That way you can get some steps in, you can get moving. So, what if you don't have the leeway to get out of your office and walk the building or walk the halls or walk around the building? You can get up and move still. How do you do that? You can get up and move by decluttering your office. Do some cleaning, straighten up, wipe down your workspace, wipe down your doorknob. That gets you a few more steps in. Again, the idea is you just don't want to sit like a couch potato on your chair in your workspace. You want to move. So I talked about why it's important to move because of health reasons. Let me give you another example of why it is important for us to move more when we're at work and not stay in our seats as long as we do. When you are seated for an extended period of time over an extended period of time, right? Let's say you sit for 7 hours a day, every day, and you just sit in your chair. You rarely get out of your chair, but for 7 hours a day. And then you go home and you're sitting for another, 2 or 3 hours. You're very sedentary. There are other health risks that are very serious. For example, you can develop blood clots in your legs and if the blood clot breaks off, it can travel to your lungs and you can actually have a serious condition, right? In the blog post that I wrote for this week, I talked about that condition and I talked about a journalist who actually died. They were working. And so you want to make sure, again, that you're up and you're moving. Another reason to get up and move, especially for ladies, being sedentary can contribute to the development of varicose veins. And those are those knotty looking blue veins that are in our legs. And sometimes they're painful. Sometimes they're benign. They don't cause any pain, but they don't look very good. So getting up and moving helps to prevent the development of varicose veins. Something to think about. So let's get back to our list. We are now on number 8. Have you thought about taking an exercise class or a fitness class during your lunchtime? If you get an hour for lunch, you can certainly do a 30-minute HIIT class, right? High intensity interval training. You can do a HIIT class in 30 minutes. You can wipe off and you can go back to work. You can also do a 30-minute yoga session. It doesn't have to be high energy. It can just be something where you're moving your body. So I talked about doing the HIIT class, right? Talked about doing yoga. And yes, some of us perspire easily. Some of us just perspire when we exercise. How do you handle that? Well, I have a suggestion for that. You can keep a kit that's comprised of washcloths, disposable adult washcloths, deodorant, and fresh underwear. That way you can freshen up pretty easily in a few minutes, change, go back to work. Okay? So it's not like you have to do something that's high intensity, but if you perspire, even when you're walking, you can use the disposable adult washcloths to just freshen yourself up. Okay, what about number 9? Okay, sometimes you have to wait to talk to somebody, or you're waiting for the copy, or you're waiting for a phone call. Somebody said, I'm going to call you right back. Or you're waiting for, okay, you're in line and you're waiting for your lunch. Or you're waiting for your Starbucks coffee or your Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You're just waiting. What can you do? Simple. You can march in place. Does that look funny? It might, but you're the healthy one. Unless you get a lot of fat and cream in your coffee, you can march in place. Or you can stretch. Take a big stretch like this. Oh, that feels so good. Stretching your sides, stretching your back. Or you can do a walking meditation. Walking meditation is when you focus all of your attention on every part of walking. Every movement that comprises walking, you focus your attention on it to the point where you know when every joint moves, every muscle moves, every part of the walking motion, you focus on that. But instead of just waiting or sitting in your chair and waiting, you can move. Number 10, a lot of people do this. They park their car far away from the entrance to their building. I do that too. A lot of people do this. They take the stairs instead of the elevator or the escalator. This allows you to get up and go. The other thing is, if you're parked far away, you can take a few minutes away from your desk and walk to your car. Again, that gets you up and gets you out. Number 11, stretch. You want to stretch regularly. Now, you can stretch while being seated. That's really for real. You can do some twists, stretch while you're seated. You can bend at the waist while you're seated. But you can also stretch standing up. Stretching allows you to strengthen your muscles and your joints, and it does relieve stress and inflammation. Number 12. Okay, we love to text, we love to email, and we love to call, right? When we're in our offices. Don't do that as often. Get up and go visit. Go talk to the person you're going to send the email to. Yes, I know it is important to send emails because that's documentation, and you can certainly do that. You can still send the email, but just think, you can get up, go to the person's office, and relay the message, and then say, I'll send you an email as a reminder. It gets you up, it gets you going. Okay. What about water? We talked about water earlier, and I talked about doing exercises with the water bottle. That actually was number 13. You can do some exercises, especially arm exercises, with your water jug. Make sure that the cap is on tight and the top is closed. But you can also have a regular bottle of water, and you can do the same, right? I can hold this up and I can do some tricep curls. Yep. Or bicep curls. It gets me moving. Last week, when Crystal Ellington was with us, 4-star Fit Chick, you want to 4-star Fit Chick 42. You also want to follow her on Instagram and Facebook. She talked about having resistance bands and doing exercises, very simple exercises with the fitness bands. So I've put that on our list as well. What about typing? You know, our muscles get strained and we get cramped fingers. You want to make sure that you're stretching your wrist. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Stretching your wrist, as well as stretching your arms and your neck. That's something that you want to do throughout the day because you don't want your muscles to get tight and ache when you start to move. Number 16. I love this one too. Get up some buddies to walk at certain times during the day. Do you have a break? Just go walking with your buddies. Get a little group, a small group. It'll be fun because you'll have some others to talk with. Also, you'll be helping each other, encouraging each other to get up and move and not sit. Number 17. Now, I got this idea from the article 30 Simple Ways to Move More. And it was written on bicycling.com. Okay. Bicycling.com. This idea I think is really kind of clever. They suggest that you pick a word. Yes, a word. Just a word. And when you hear that and you attach a movement to that word, and when you hear that word, if somebody says that word, then you're going to do the movement that you attach to it. Let me give you an example. So we're talking about stress and releasing stress. Let's say somebody says, I am stressed. That's the word. I could say to myself, okay, I heard the word stressed. Every time I hear stressed, I'm going to do 10 jumping jacks. I'm tickling myself. I think that was 10. Okay. So every time you hear a certain word, you will do an activity, some type of activity, one that you have chosen for that word. And of course, you can change the word as often as you want, and you can change the activity as often as you want. Number 18. This is an idea that I got from sharecare.com. Dial a workout. Now, what they suggest is actually on their website, ShareCare actually gives examples of exercises, activities that you can do, or stretching, like stress relief that you can do by dialing a number. So to give you an example, to try to illustrate, each number has an activity, and it corresponds to the numbers that are on your phone. What they say is that you dial a number, and there are 9 digits in a number. Let's see. 7 digits in a number. Okay. 9. Okay. Yeah. 7 digits in a number. So each number will represent an activity that you complete. So let's say the number is, I'm making this number up, you all. It's not a real number as far as I know of. 555 5555. That's a generic number enough, I think. So with that number, whatever activity that is for the number 5 on my phone, that's the activity that I will do. And of course, when you dial a number, dial a workout, you're going to be doing 7 different types of activities because each number will have an activity. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. I thought it was really clever. Okay, then what about balance? Number 19, what about balance? As we get older, our balance isn't really not as good as it once was. So we can actually do balance activities. Now, you can't see me, but I actually have my the bottom of my foot pressed against the inside, the bottom of my right foot pressed against the inside of my left leg. And it's in a V shape. So we know this to be like a yoga move, right? Um, so this helps with balance. This particular yoga move, which I can't remember the name of, helps with balance. If I were standing at my desk, I could actually do this regularly. And then I could shift and do the other side. So you want to do some balance exercises as well. That's another way to get your movement in. So I know we're at our 30-minute mark, and this is the last of our 20. Okay. This is another exercise that I got from the article 30 Simple Ways to Move More on Bicycling.com. They call it the push-up game. And they said, as a way of suggestion, that whenever you have an unconstructive thought come to mind, you do 10 push-ups. So an unconstructive, what would be an unconstructive thought? A negative thought, a sarcastic thought, a mean thought, a thought that is a discouraging thought. When you have an unconstructive thought, do 10 push-ups. I don't know if you want to do 10 push-ups. It was pretty clever. I was like, if I'm in my office all day by myself, I could certainly do 10 push-ups, probably. Now, let me give you 3 other suggestions. And these are things that I really love personally. My bonus suggestion is dancing. Put on some music. Most songs are less than 5 minutes. Put on some music and then do your thing. Just boogie down. You can get some tension out of those shoulders. You can shake some of that stress and strain off. 5 minutes or less. Put a song on that you really like, or a song that revs you up, and just dance. That's one of my favorites. And it is something that I do. I do it all the time. Turn the music up, and whoever passes by, they sometimes shimmy too. The other thing is, use your fitness app or your phone and set reminders. Do a reminder timer to remind yourself to get up and move, because sometimes we get so engrossed in what we're doing, we do forget. We forget to get up and we forget to get going. So make sure you're using your phone or your fitness app's reminder timer and get up and move. And I say you want to move every 30 minutes. You don't have to take a long walk, but you should get up and move for a couple of minutes just so you're not so sedentary. Then the last bonus suggestion is to participate in challenges like I did. The step challenge. I refused to not get my 6,000 steps during that challenge. You should have seen me. I was marching in place. I was going to my car, and then I would get on the treadmill at home, which I hadn't used in about a year, just to get my 6,000 steps. Because we love challenges, and we don't want to let ourselves down when we're participating in a challenge. Whew, I loved doing this. Again, on Tuesday, go to www.happyhalfhour.club. And that's where you're going to see the entire list with bonuses. I'm glad to share that with you. I hope it helps. Make sure you shoot me a message so that I know that you're actually trying some of these suggestions, and I want to know how it works for you. Make sure though that you put stress talk in the subject line. That way I know that you're not spam and that you're a real person. So that's it for now. I'm Marcyline Bailey. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I look forward to seeing you soon again. Ooh, I almost did something I didn't want to do. For now, take care.